Yo, what's going on, y'all? Today, the second day, 2021 might be the year of consistency. We're gonna go over 5 charts of stocks, Bitcoin, and some after hours news. I have restructured and already upgrading. Thank you for my wife for allowing there to be critique that can be constructive. Instead of just clicking a bull or a bear or a hold through each chart on the time frame, I've come up with a scorecard. As you see, there's the monthly equals 3 points, the weekly structure equals 2 points, the daily structure equals 1 point, and trading above or below the EMA will either be a 1 point or 0. And the total score is 8 out of 8 would be 100% bullish. You have bullish being greater than 6 points or, equivalent to 3/4, 75%. A hold is in between, so about 50% out of these points that I mentioned. And then finally bearish, which would be less than those 3 points. All right, so that's the scorecard. So right now we have Baidu, our first chart. You can look at the ranges of the highs, the lows. It's been trading, However, if you come over here back in 2018, you can see a lot of resistance from 260 all the way to 280. What happened recently? We had a lot of, coronavirus, things of that nature, had it selling, low. However, you can somewhat tell there was a double bottom around the 93 area back when the rise came up off the lows of coronavirus. This, after, starting August, has had bullish price action every month. Just holding. You don't even have to trade it, just holding. And look at that crazy buy volume in December and January. This gets a 3 out of 3 on the monthly. We'll switch over to the weekly. What do we see? We see that price above old highs. We are now trading in all-time highs. We're over all EMAs. We're over all long SMA lines. And then finally, on the day, we are just really showing some strength. Today we saw, actually not just today, but yesterday and today, we saw, some sell-offs in the market, just kind of testing, our gut, seeing if we have those strong hands. And today it shows some extreme strength. It had approached 300 and wicked off of that. We want to see those good wicks off those lows, and closed with a slight doji, kind of a hammer, right there above the $300 level. I give this 100%, guys, 100% bullish. Nvidia, guys, you're gonna have to get used to it. This is bullish, guys. 100% score, I can tell you right now. 3 out of 3 on the monthly. I love to see consolidation. When you see that consolidation, you're seeing impatience, you're seeing patient, you're seeing accumulation. All right, the weak are distributing. They want to find a better play. However, those institutions, those smart investors, they just keep buying when the buy points and the buy zones, come to them. You see, from pretty much August until now, until February, we finally broke through that channel of, consistent price action from 513 pretty much all the way up to 583, but it was just really tight right here from 560 to 512 when you see in the shorter time frames. All right, over here we have weekly. Look how tight that price action is right there. Since January, the first week of January, all of that tight price action. That's why I drew those lines right there. Then an explosion. When you see that enough people have bought in and they finally lift the resistance off, you can see a true continuation. So this is, 2 out of 2 bullish over all EMAs, just a real clear skies right there. And then finally here, you can say it's extended. I know, but It's over those previous highs, it's over those previous resistance levels. It broke the $600 level today, and it really can go the length. This is a chip company. The chip company is doing well off of Bitcoin, bullishness, and the popularity of semiconductors will always be there. We live in a digital world and we need hardware. I do invest in SMH, the index for semiconductors, in my M1 Finance, and I'm never selling my semiconductor portfolio. So again, this is one of the top semiconductor companies, and this is 100% bullish in my opinion. Hyliion, y'all got happy over that 31% day. I see y'all, but look, y'all, look. That ain't bullish. That ain't like, the monthly ain't bullish like that. I did give it some points because it did find a triple bottom right there, bouncing off of $15. You know, I did give it some points for that. I did give it points, I think, for being above the 10 EMA, but it's still below the 20 EMA, so I didn't, give it too many points on the monthly. The weekly, it was consolidating, and then it pushed up. It's still, trying to fight with the 20 EMA and the 50 SMA. I do want to see another day trade above it. So again, I like my charts up here in the high range. This has not been trading well for a very long time, so you can't get too excited on a bullish week. You need that confirmation, that follow through. So I didn't give it a full 2 out of 2 there either. The daily, yeah, it is trading over the 10 and the 20 and over the 50. But what do you see right there? The 200 and the 100 simple moving averages. Those can be very strong resistance levels at times. But we did see a lot of volume today, and I'm not going to take that away from Hyliion. With this one, I'm going to give it a 50% hold rating. If you are already in it, hold. If you want to get in, I'm talking like, I want to see this thing trade above 28. Like, I want right here on this previous resistance line, like, I want it to really go. So I'm giving this a 50% hold. Not extremely excited. I feel like there's better opportunities like CCIV. I ain't say that. But let's go to the next one. Virgin Galactic. Okay, so this is going to be a company that's going to be added to ARK-X space ETF. If you see the ARK ETFs all have $1 billion plus in their asset pools. What does that mean? Oh, well, if there's a space ETF, they have to buy millions, maybe even up to hundreds of millions of dollars of shares in just this company alone. So I've been kind of adjusting my trading as far as is there institutional demand, or is there demand in the market, or is the technology very demanding? And even changing the mindset of price being demand. Price equals demand has really made my trading a much better situation. But let's get back into the monthly chart. You had some consolidation right here. And then finally on January, big bullish move, broke 2 high levels of resistance, and even teased all the way up to $60. Like, hey, calm down. From 22 to 60, it had to calm down. But I gave this a 3 out of 3. You want to see that explosion. On the weekly, I actually gave it a 2 out of 3. I did see 2 previous wicks off the highs. Not terrible, but I didn't want to give it too high of a rating off the weekly, just because we did see some top wicks. But you're seeing some continuous green volume in the weekly chart from first week of January all up until now. Every week has been bullish. Finally, the daily is looking bullish. So it did test the If you post on, if you follow my Twitter, you would already seen this post. It popped off the 10 EMA yesterday. Today, it did it again and is trading right under $60. You do have the test flight tomorrow, and some people really sell before just as a risk off play. But if the test goes well, we're going to maybe see positive price movement on Tuesday. The market's closed on Monday, President's Day. And if it does go, if it's a bad flight, you're gonna see a flush. We saw that flush from 32 all the way down to lows of like 22.78. But hey, the ARKX ETF is still coming, so no matter what, after the test flight, this will most likely still be bought into the ETF. So I give this like an 88% bullish. Not a full score, just off the weekly high wicks. Finally, Amazon. I'm bearish on Amazon. All right, so the monthly, I did give it some points. You are seeing higher lows. Okay. And you are seeing the chart, higher in the top right rather than that lower, just like Hyliion. However, I'm not seeing bullish candles when we're in a bull market. You could say that it's consolidating, but I just don't think there's demand in Amazon. I mean, a lot of retail is not touching Amazon. One, is too expensive as a share. Even though there are fractional shares, the psychology of a $3,000 share is just too much. They haven't came out with a lot of new things. They are rumored to have a stock split. That was kind of around when Tesla and Apple were doing it, so they were kind of trading high. However, they have failed to come up with that. And then finally, this monthly, I'm seeing a wick off of 3,400. The new CEO, we don't know how that's going to go. Earnings was, well, but just wasn't received well from demand. So I just don't see it on the monthly. All right, weekly. I gave it some points for being above the 10 and the 20 EMA, but so it's a red week, I have this in the M1 Finance as one of the hedge fund manager pools. They have like a bunch of stuff in their pie. And I just continue to just, have some Amazon just off the fact that it's Amazon. But honestly, with like real money, I wouldn't like put my own like chunk into Amazon. Weekly, it's doing okay, This is a way better opportunity in my opinion. And then finally, the daily, it did close below the 10 and the 20 EMA, but it is pulling back into the 50 and the 100 SMA. The near support is 3,200. So, I still am bearish on this. This is the only bearish stock that I am bearish on. All right, Bitcoin update. Bitcoin, I said that 44,000 might hold, the 44,000 might hold, if not the 42,000 range yesterday. What did we see? 44K held, thank you. And then we moved higher. I will talk about why it moved higher right after this. We are seeing new highs from the last daily close, and then new daily close new daily high as well. However, you do just want to be patient. We could see this be at resistance level, just the 48K range. This is a volatile asset, so don't be stressed. If anything, it's letting the 10 EMA catch up to price, and that's good. So yeah, the only update I have really is it pulled back to 44K and now it's testing 48. Shouts out Andrew Yang. Let's see. And finally, the large after hours gainers for today. So we had CCIV Churchill Capital. New update on Bloomberg terminal. And the big thing is people want them to sell. The early investors want them to sell Lucid. Please sell Lucid to Churchill Capital. It's great for them because they can offload their shares they've been holding forever. It's great for us because we can invest into a growing company. And finally, there was a new update I had circled right here as far as cash. They will be, it's suggested to buy a company in cash. Now it was an update. And then over here, you can see there was 8 million shares traded, guys. 8 million shares traded in after hours off this alone. So that's roughly about $240 million getting traded just, based off of potential room or potential, advancements in this deal. So we did have Peter, the CEO of Lucid, last Friday come on CNBC and smirking. Like, he was smirking on some stuff. And I did have a video about CCIV as well, so you can go check that out. But it's looking very close. Like, if you see like 8 million shares pump off of like a Bloomberg terminal update, I mean, come on. And I also saw a tweet that said that there was 60% of dark pool buying or dark pool volume today on CCIV. There is a lot of like smart money buying the heck out of CCIV on the low. Okay, maybe the 13F filings aren't all the way accurate, but if you can track on Market Chameleon the trading, there is 60% dark pool buying. So they buying on the low. And then finally, Andrew Yang. He was a former presidential candidate, but now mayor of New York. He has said the world's financial capital, New York City, I would invest in making the city a hub for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. What? Come on, the politicians behind this. You had Elon Musk behind it with the 1.5 billion purchase. Still waiting for another company to go in. Earlier today, we had a bank. I forgot the bank name, but they decided to allow Bitcoin to be a part of their assets. It's just like the whole world want Bitcoin. The whole world want Bitcoin. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope this video wasn't too long. I try to get all this information in, but I just can be long-winded sometimes because stocks is a passion. We will have another video on Friday, and I will probably have some off-the-topic videos for this weekend. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Give a like, comment, subscribe. Everything really matters. The feedback is cherished. Thank y'all. Be easy.